Hello and welcome to the show. Now, put simply, the Lancia Delta is the most successful rally car of all time. That means it should be pretty good when it comes to a rally car build on Forza Horizon 3, although it does put an awful lot of pressure on the Lancia. So far in this series, the SUVs, well, an SUV and a pickup truck, have got the closest to the Focus Rallycross car, not the 205 T16 or the Volvo S60. I am hoping that perhaps the Lancia can change that, but it is going to be potentially a tall order for this vehicle. We do start off, though, at a relatively high C class, which does give us plenty of PI to play with. Admittedly, most of it is going to go into tyres because, well, we're going to have to be running the snow tyres, and that jumps it up into A class. That is a big jump. That is a very, very big jump for the Delta, but it is essential. We are also going to go for as wider tyres as we can. This is one of the ways that we can gain an advantage on the Focus. The Focus can only run, or the standard car that I ran was running 225 tyres, so we have fractionally larger. Now, they're not a massive advantage on the Delta, but they are a little bit. And we have seen that time and time again on Horizon 3, and I've tested it, wider tyres help on the snow. So that is one way we're going to gain an advantage, because we're not going to gain an advantage in power. The Focus was putting out some 600 horsepower. The Delta won't be putting out that much. I'm hoping, though, that we can be putting out relatively decent. We could go I kind of want to run the bars with the splitter. We want the downforce on the car. We want the Forza Aero. We want that that grip. We could. No, it is slightly heavier to run the tyre, but it does reduce the PI. Admittedly, it reduces the PI about the same. Actually, no, wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second there. So it is heavier to run a wing than without a wing. Makes sense. However, it is lighter to have a wing and a tyre. Are we filling all of our stuff full of helium? Is that what it is? We've got the helium-filled tyre. Oh, I love Forza sometimes. We can also, now you see, so the mud flaps are heavier than the tyre is light. Short. We want the rally car look going on here, and we also want the same way. They're not magically lighter headlights. Either way, we're going to have a full rally look on our Delta. Right, other important bits, brakes, of course, as is our suspension. We will be going for the off-road suspension. We're going to want the race anti-roll bar parts. Now, what we do with weight reduction is a curious one. If we go full weight reduction, you know, that is going to jump the PI up relatively quickly. And also, once we start adding power parts, it's going to shoot up very fast. So I think we have to be careful. I'm thinking maybe if we go second stage of weight reduction and then focus on getting as much power into this vehicle as we can. Now, I'm not going to be stopping the engine unless I have to. I am just curious to see. Ooh, we can. Okay, that's good, actually. That's very good news. So, with the 6.2 litre V8, with the 500 horsepower 6.2 litre V8, we are still within the PI. Now, that means that hopefully we are going to be able to get power figures, or if the standard engine can't get power figures like that, we will be swapping it. That is nice to know. That is very, very nice to know indeed. So, yeah, we are going to be potentially putting out a sizable amount of power from the Lancia, which is good. And it's going to need it, let's face it, around this course. We have been seeing, you know, the cars are going to need a decent amount of power here. We will go through with the rest of these bits and pieces up to 457 horsepower. So, we have got considerably more power than we had going on in our Nissan that went out last time that was rear-wheel drive. And I think that's all to do with the tyre widths almost on this Lancia, because they are diddy on the Delta. They don't jump the PI up as much as the wide tyres. But on a rear-wheel drive car, well, you're going to want nice wide tyres. We're at that really, really awkward stage at the moment. I really want to keep the standard engine. The problem is, the only way I can... say the only way, if we stick that, actually just drop our PI down a little bit. If we keep with the standard engine, we won't have enough PI to get another stage of weight reduction in, and I do want the power. And I guess maybe the intercooler. How much power are you going to give me? So you give me 12 horsepower, but it adds weight, and it's not giving us huge PI gains. Okay, no, we can just about work it. it is a little bit of a faff with the Delta. I'm kind of leaning towards putting a big V8 in it. I'm kind of, yeah. I think it's just such a kind of an awkward workaround. Plus, the V8 is considerably more power, one less torque, and a little bit more weight. But we do still have 4 PI to play with, so we are going to go with the V8. It's going to be naturally aspirated in the Delta. It's just at that really awkward stage of PI that there's not much you can do with it. We are going to have a race exhaust on the car. I don't actually know. Did these parts transfer over? They did actually to the V8. I'm very surprised because yeah, we've got sort of full-on weight reduction and everything going on in. I say weight reduction, full-on clutch and gearbox and all of that shenanigans. We can get another 7 horsepower out of it. We can. Now this will sometimes take off weight, but it's too much PI. It didn't take off weight either. So we can get 7 horsepower, or we can go for. I think we're gonna go for the 7 horsepower. Over here, all right. 534 horsepower, 479 torque in a relatively light car. This might just do it, actually. I think this might have the best shout of anything so far to go quicker than the Focus. Fingers crossed it doesn't do the normal Lancia thing of break down. So it is off to, well, the rather chilly start line for the Mountain Peak Scramble. And our target that we must try and achieve within 5 laps, a 125.2 to knock the Focus off the top spot. And I think the Lancia might be capable of it. I really do. If we can get the car turned, if we have the grip, I think the Lancia might just be able to dethrone that Focus. There is certainly plenty of acceleration. That's 108 miles an hour from a standing start up towards turn 1. Sure enough, we do have some understeer. We are going to hit the ice. That's not what you want to be doing quite around that corner. However, yeah, you can definitely feel that it hasn't got the largest of tyres. We are struggling a little bit with the turn, although admittedly we are going very, very fast on our way into these corners. Will we be flat out? Whoa! Okay, big oversteer from the Lancia. That's a way to do things. Not quite the ideal in terms of speed. However, we we found a way around it. The off-piste twist we manage a little bit wonkily. Not the best opening lap so far from the Lancia. That's the Polestar Rocket come to say hello to the 3rd car in a row. I'm going to clobber that with something. I thought the Volvo was the closest at everything now. So I'm pushing the cars more and more out of that corner, and this has got the grip to really be throwing through the turns as we head through the Kimmies. A little wide on the exit, and that puts us out of position for Diabolica here. But still good speed. Very, very good speed from the Delta. I think there's going to be a nervous Focus somewhere because this is very, very good. This is very good indeed as we leave the final corner. That's some of the fastest exit speed we've seen out of that. Holy crap, it's a 25.9 from a standing start. That is going to be a very, very scared Focus somewhere because I think its reign at the top is going to be quite short-lived. Quite short-lived indeed as we get the car through that 2nd corner out the other side. This time we haven't got massive oversteer. Past Rolvia, no issues for our Delta up there, although still lots of sideways stuff going on from the Lancia. We do have to have a little lift through McRae, but it is keeping it above 90 miles an hour. The Focus did get up to about 100 by the exit of McRae, however. Yeah, that's still not bad going from the Lancia, and I think it might carry a bit more corner speed through the likes of the off-piste twist there. I am slightly wonky. Oh, we're going to end up in the rock. Oh, way too tight on the run into that corner. Knew I was in trouble the minute I turned in. Yeah, okay, this lap's not quite gone to plan. However, the first half was very, very quick indeed. Through the Kimmies we go, and there's a fair bit of oversteer on the exit. Actually, we got it changed direction very, very nicely for Diabolica. It's a shame I had turned in too soon by that rock, because this lap has been mighty fast everywhere else. It might still be enough, in all honesty, to go quicker than the Focus as we round. Okay, Satellite wasn't fantastic either. Up towards the line we go, and it is into the 24s. We have a new record holder, and that was on a scruffy lap. Bloody hell, this Lancia is quick. A 24.9 from the Delta. What more is there in the car if we get everything right? This is a monstrous rally vehicle. I mean, are we surprised by the Delta being incredibly quick out here in the snow? Perhaps not quite so much. There is, yeah, definitely feels like the car is running on smaller tyres. There is that understeer. That was mega fast through McRae, and we do get it up towards 100 miles an hour. This is going to set one hell of a benchmark. If I can keep this all together on this lap, and we are quick across the off-piste tweets. Now, don't turn in too soon through here. We are going to turn in quite soon because we get a lot of understeer and a lot of oversteer again. We hit the Polestar rock. First victim, it was only a minor hit. However, yes, the slight understeer. I am pushing this car very, very hard, and you have the confidence in it to really throw it around the course. However, what that does tend to mean is that, yeah, we are pushing our luck in a couple of places. Again, that's a shame. That was a mega start to the lap, but same corner got into trouble. I want to be flat out through that turn. I think we might not. I think we're carrying so much speed, and that was a mega fast lap as well. It's a dirty lap, but that was silly quick as well from the Lancia. The issue is that I want to be flat out like every other car has been. However, the Lancia is carrying so much speed and just simply doesn't have the front end grip to get away with it. A combination of it being very quick accelerating and a lack of turn-in. The likes of the Bentley had a little bit better turn-in. We wasn't having understeer problems so much with the Bentley. Admittedly, it is a much faster car over the course of a run. A little bit slower on the way into McRae, but again, I've got 102 miles an hour on the way out as we fire it up the off-piste twist once more. Get it turned in as we bounce our way across the rocks down here. Let's try and not understeer for a mile. That's more like it. That's the line that we want to see through that corner. I could have been more aggressive on the power that time around. Now an early break for our next turn. Very easy to understeer off towards that wall, and I'm having to be careful with the Delta. It's not quite as throw it into the corner as some of the cars. We did hit the ice through the opening part of the Kimmies. Left me a little bit unsettled, but we have sorted it out with a very neat line through Diabolica. Just one more quarter to go, and this was one of the scruffier corners on our fast run, so if we can get through here quickly, which we have done with a little bit of a wall tap on the exit. What is the time going to be? Oh, it's gone quicker again. It's into a 24.5. Could we find any more time on this final lap? I'm not sure if we can. This is a monster of a car. I am enjoying rallying a Delta. I know you guys have wanted to see me rally a Delta for a little while, and I am very glad we have decided to go for it now, because this is absolutely fantastic. Now let's get less oversteer on the run through here. It's where we were a little scruffy on that previous lap. Oh, that was very, very nice, although it was quicker on the way in, not quicker on the way out. Up the off-piste twist we go, carrying good speed through there. No issues across the rough terrain for our Delta. Now, hang out wide, wait a little bit longer to turn in, then we get on the power. Just the faintest little bit of oversteer from our Delta. Really slow the car down for the next turn. But we could have probably got on the power a smidge earlier through there. However, things are looking good on this lap through the second part of the Kimmies. I'm making sure I don't run too wide on the exit. Chuck it in to a Diabolica once more, getting mega speed, and we're not really dropping below 60 miles an hour, even for these tightest and slowest of corners on the track. As around the final turn we go. It's the run to the finish. Can we get into the 23s? Holy crap, I've just seen how fast that was. Oh, bloody hell, that is a monster of a lap. That is an absolute monster of a lap from the Delta. A 122.6 from the Lancia. Oh, that is going to be difficult to beat. That is going to be very difficult to beat. I knew when I set up this series the reason why I was having these cars only built to, well, halfway through the S1 class, with the focus being at the very top of the class. I knew that focus was going to be a difficult benchmark. After, you know, let's say the embarrassment of the Quattro. After the Quattro got absolutely annihilated at our previous circuit, I mixed things up with this, and I knew that focus was going to be quick. I knew it was going to be tough to beat. The Cyclone, the Bentley, got close, However, the Delta has absolutely destroyed the Ford. That, admittedly, I mean, that was a bloody perfect lap from the Delta. In fact, the only thing I would say is on Diabolica, I turned in a fraction too soon. I think I might have ever so slightly brushed the fence. Now, we didn't lose a huge amount of speed in doing it, but that was an incredible lap. And that time at 22.6 is going to be tough. Tough for anything to, I think, even remotely get near. Much like when the Miura ran in the rallycross and just obliterated everything. I think it's another Italian car, a very different Italian car, but I think the Lancia might well sit at the top of the table for quite some time. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I said at the start, the Lancia had a lot of weight on its shoulders to carry in this, and it has more than delivered. Because, yeah, that is a monstrous time. It is, well, near enough 3 seconds faster than the GMC Cyclone and the Bentley. It's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous speed from this car. You know, 2.5 seconds clear of the Focus Rallycross. Massively faster than the Peugeot 205 T16 and the Volvo S60. I was not expecting to see times into the 122s. I thought, you know, 24s, maybe a low 24 might be doable with some cars, but 22.6 is absurd. It is, yeah, really lived up to its name of a true rally monster. And that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.